Hey guys, this is Anime Guy 500, and we're finally approaching our final destination, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 31, which is on this Sunday, and this headband is ungodly tight. But at least this fits me. But anyway, with WrestleMania on the Sunday, that means it's time for a prediction video. And bear in mind, this is all just my opinions. So if you're thinking indifferent to what I say, then feel free to let me know in the comments section below of what your predictions would be. But anyway, let's not waste any more time and hang on to the predictions, shall we? And we shall start off with the kickoff match, which is a fatal four-way tag team match for the tag team championship, which consists of Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, Los Matadores, Big E and Kofi Kingston of the New Day, and the Usos. Well, Kidd and Cesaro have been pretty good as tag champs, but I would probably have to say I would like to see the New Day as the tag champs to see how well they can perform as champions, and also considering that their gimmick has really won the crowd over since the New Day was first formed, and mainly because of Big E and his incredibly black preacher voice that just sells the gimmick, and before anyone and as I said before any calling me racist, I'm half Castle. Fuck you. So yeah, New Day for the win. Now on for the main pay-per-view, and I don't know that's what order the match is, because, well, it hasn't aired yet, so I'll just give out my predictions of the matches, just what I think might get done in. We shall start off with the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, which consists of Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, and Daniel Bryan. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the first time that the Intercontinental Championship has been defended in a ladder match since WrestleMania 10 between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Now, I can see this being quite a very frantic yet very competitive match. But as for the winner, well, apparently it wasn't to say Daniel Bryan, but he kind of had his WrestleMania moment last year. And don't get me wrong, I love Daniel Bryan, no homo, but he had his moment last year when he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So I would probably have to go for Dean Ambrose, mainly because since he's since this is gonna be his first WrestleMania, since the Shield broke up. Wait, no, is it? Yeah. So for my pick for the ladder match, I'll have to go for Dean Ambrose for winning the IC title. Next up, Um, I'll, I suppose I'll get this one out of the way. AJ Lee and Paige versus the Bella Twins. AJ and Paige for the win. That's all I gotta say, because I've already said my piece on what I think of the Bella Twins. Both both for both their gimmick and how they and as well as competing in the ring, because well, Brie can wrestle, but Nikki, she's just I just think she's shit. And the fact that now Brie is now heel again, and now part of the Bella Twins are now reformed. I can't fucking stand them. So AJ and Paige for the win. Next up, next up, Rusev versus John Cena for the United States Championship. With being WrestleMania, I can definitely see this being the end of Rusev's undefeated streak, and some you may call me crazy for wanting to root for Cena, but the sooner Rusev drops the US title and as well as having his first defeat, the better, because as stated, him being undefeated has overstayed his welcome, and as well as his whole and his whole Russia just an America shtick has just gotten old now. I mean that shit would have worked fine back in the 80s, but this is 2015 now, so it needs to end. So John Cena for the win. Next up, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I can see this being a pretty brutal physical matchup, as Orton has been wanting to get revenge on Rollins since he got curb stomped through the announce table and on the steel steps on Raw back in November, I believe. So as much as I'm not really a Randy Orton fan, I can probably see Orton beating the living crap out of Seth Rollins. So Orton for the win. Next up is Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Now, I did not expect The Undertaker to finally come back, considering what occurred last year, and also considering his health, from what I've seen from recent photos. I can probably see this being Taker's last match, and probably see him being inducted into the Hall of Fame next year. But as for the match itself, I hope this turns out to be a good match, and I hope that if this does turn out to be Taker's last match, I'm hoping for him to be triumphant and defeat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. So Taker for the win, and hope that he'll make Bray Wyatt rest in peace. Jump Cut Brothers! Okay, I apologize for that. Next up is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Now, this is the second year in a row where at WrestleMania that has held a Memorial Battle Royale dedicated to the legend that is Andre the Giant. Now, from what I've gathered from the participants that have been confirmed to compete in this match, apparently there's going to be a superstar from NXT said to be part of it, but I don't know who, because it's going to be determined via a tournament that's going to take place at WrestleMania Access. But as for the ones on the main roster, I kind of maybe want to see maybe Mark Henry and We've probably is probably flipping his shit after we say that. Considering that he's a face now, but at the same time, I also would like to see Damien Mizdow win, and hope in the hopes that Mizdow finally has enough of the Miz's bullshit and gives the Miz a much deserved ass whooping. So for the second annual Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, I'll probably have to go with Mizdow to win the match. And next up is Triple H versus Sting. For years, since WCW closed its doors, fans have been wanting to see Sting compete in a WWE ring. And I can definitely see this being one of the best matches of the pay-per-view. And I can see this being very personal, very back and forth. But as for the winner, I can probably see the icon, the man called Sting, being triumphant over Triple H. So Sting for the win. And that brings us to the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar! Yeah, that never gets old. Ever since Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble this year, Paul Heyman has been praising Lesnar to tell the fans that he'll be the one to win the main event at Mania and leave WWE and unite the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with the UFC Heavyweight Championship. But I sorry that WWE it's that stupid to let that happen. And somewhere in North Carolina, only Lukaku is probably laughing his ass off. And with Reigns ensuring that he will kick Brock Lesnar's ass at WrestleMania and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And you know what? If there was but one superstar that's more deserving to beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, that is Roman Reigns, because ever since he first appeared on the main roster as part of the Shield, and even after the Shield dissolved, he has proven that he can win a crowd over, whether they love him or hate him, and deserves to be the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Believe that. So it's pretty obvious that my pick for the match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is Roman Reigns to become the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And with that, those are my predictions for WrestleMania. I'm hoping this turns out to be a pretty good show, and not only for the main event, but as well as Sting having his in-ring debut, and as well as the return of the Undertaker for the first time in a year, when Brock Lesnar conquered his undefeated streak. And I hope he pulls off the match of his lifetime. WrestleMania 31 is on this Sunday, live on the WWE Network at 7 p.m. Eastern in the US, and on at midnight for the United Kingdom. And like the past couple of years, I'll be watching it live, and I'm really looking forward to it. But even though when I'm watching it, I won't be wearing these. But I'll wear these for the review the day after. If not the day after, then 2 nights after. Considering that since I'll be staying up to watch WrestleMania, and it won't end until like 4 a.m. in the morning. So the day after, I'll be pretty tired and worn out. So we'll have to wait and see. And until my review, this is Amber Hubbard signing out. Later.